Today we have, at this particular time, 20 after 3, we have Cal Verduchi waiting in the wings. Cal
Hello.
has been a comedian. He's been on Comedy Central, XM Radio. He's opened for Robert Klein, you guys. Come on. He's worked with Bobcat Goldthwait, Caroline Ray. He's been a comic for 26 freaking years, you guys. Show some respect.
Yeah.
He's toured all over North America as well as South Africa. Come on, you guys. Let's go see him right now. There he is. He was probably there for you the whole time. Hi, Cal. Say hi to Facebook. What's going on, Cal?
Nothing much. Just trying to survive the Rona.
The Rona.
I don't have it, but I'm saying just not
Yeah.
catch it. But and just trying to keep going. It's obviously I'm not doing any stand up right now except for the Zoom shows, but I don't have any schedule right now. But I did one like I want to say like a week and a half ago.
I saw that. Was that on the East Coast?
Yeah, it was on the East Coast, and yeah, as a matter of fact, I had to tell my friends it was a different time, the ones that tuned in on the West Coast. So I forgot to do that. As a matter of fact, I was like, oh, it's 8 o'clock. It's like, meanwhile, it's 5 o'clock here.
Yeah, how many times a day I have to pay attention to time zones now?
Yeah, I know, it's weird.
It's ridiculous.
Like I don't know. I'll never get used to the fact that like my brain is still on East Coast time, as a matter of fact, because like I feel like I get tired and go to bed a few hours earlier than I normally would, and that's never stopped since I've moved here. Yeah,
You just recently moved to Vegas.
Yeah, I moved here like the second week of February, which is crazy. Like I move here, I just start getting going. Like I'm doing okay. Like I was starting to get a couple of dates going and then all of a sudden, here's the coronavirus. Yeah, it was like the worst time any human being has decided I'm going to move across the country. Yeah.
You know, I saw you do a set over at the Tickle Me Club, and you just slayed the room when the headliner was Nikki Carr. I mean, you were on par with Nikki Carr, no pun intended.
Actually, I think it was somebody else. God, what was her name? She was very funny too. Oh, Tracy Skeen was actually the headliner.
I think I saw you the night that Nikki Carr was there, wasn't it?
Or was Nikki? No, it was definitely Tracy Skeen. Yeah, I remember because I made Facebook friends with her like that weekend. Yeah.
Okay, well, you killed just like the headliner is the point. You just slayed in that room.
Yes.
I didn't know at the time until you sent me your bio, because we're retaping this with the good computer. I didn't know all the history of who you've opened up for and the years that you've done comedy. I just know you slayed when you were up there.
Thank you. I've been around forever, but like, in the comedy business, nobody knows who you are unless you're on TV, So like, no one's like, oh, I know Cal Verduchi. No one knows who the hell I am. So
they need to know, because you are relentless on stage, and you're so likable and so hysterical, and you just go for the.
Well, that's the thing. I try to be very silly, but I'm also very edgy. But that's how I get away with being edgy, is by being silly and smiley. I almost make you think like, oh, it's like a little kid being on stage, being mischievous. So like I can get away with saying pretty offensive things. I mean, I don't think I'm too offensive, but I'm definitely edgy,
Yeah, and you don't offend. There's something so likable about you. Whatever you're saying, people don't remember that. They remember how funny you are.
Although there will always be someone who gets offended.
Always.
But always. They don't usually. It's funny. They don't usually tell you. They tell somebody else about it. And, and then all of a sudden, the next day, oh, you offended one guy, you're not coming back. Like, one person? Okay. Like, what about the other 50 people or 100 people that are laughing? Yeah, so that's where we are as a society these days.
I know. And not only are we having to be politically correct, and the people are being passive aggressive and they're getting offended for their friend who's offended because of their friend. It's
Oh,
ridiculous.
I've had that happen too. Like, I've done racial humor, and I've had, like, not the race get offended, but their white friend gets offended for them.
Yep.
And literally comes up to me and says, "You shouldn't say that. You know, like, this person is right here." I'm like, did you ask them if they thought it was funny? And usually it's 90% of the time they do find it funny. It's
They
just
do.
this uptight white person who gets offended.
Exactly. I've
Yeah.
seen that when you're telling jokes that cross racial lines, a lot of times people will look around the room for permission to laugh.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. And the
And
same
that's
thing
like,
goes like if you're doing a joke about gay people or something like that. When, like, I mean, I got a lot of gay friends, and they have great senses of humor. Especially like gay guys, they laugh at all that stuff. They love
all of it.
You know,
They have
yeah,
the
people
best sense.
people need to realize that. People need to realize that it's not always about you being offended, you know? Like, don't speak on behalf of everyone else.
Yes. So take me back to when you first decided, because we're redoing this from the first time
Yeah.
to a better technology right now. And thank you so much for humbly letting me do that for you. So take me back to the very first time you were told you were funny, to the first time you got on stage, to now.
I mean, I don't know the first time I was told, probably when I was a kid, I was told I was funny because I used to imitate everyone. Like, when I was a kid, I would imitate like Bobcat Goldthwait and Pee Wee Herman, and like grown adults would be like, "Oh my God, do that again. That's hilarious." And like, yeah, adults would tell me I was funny, and this kid's hilarious. And I always, like, I grew up watching SNL, and Dana Carvey was like huge to me back then. My mother actually took me to see him when I was only like 12 years old, and that's when I was like, I really like this. I really, like. And then I went to see Jamie Foxx when I was only like a teenager, and I wasn't supposed to go. For some reason, they let me in. Don't know why. And then I started going to more comedy shows, and I was like, I could do this. Like, I'd see comics, and I'd be like, this guy's funny, but I bet I could do better than this person, And then I went to my first open mic was in college in Chicago, and it was at an all-black comedy club, because that was the only comedy club that had an open mic in that area. And I was scared, but the audience was really cool. I remember, going up there, and I totally forgot my act. Like, I completely, and I just kind of made fun of the fact that I was the only white guy performing, and they loved it, and then that was when I was like, I mean, this is fun. I could definitely keep doing this. And I didn't actually go up again for a few months later, because I was kind of scared my first time. And then when I went back home from college, I went to a comedy club in Rhode Island called the Comedy Connection, which still exists.
The Comedy Venture?
Comedy Connection in Providence, Rhode Island. And I went there, and I got really good laughs, and I had a lot of fun, and I kept going to that same one. And then at that one, I met people who had other shows, and they wanted to do shows, and it just, as a matter of fact, I remember, I don't know if you know, he's a Vegas comic, Butch Bradley. He was actually at my second show.
What?
Yeah, he was it was either my second or third show at the Comedy Connection. He was there, and he had a room in Westerly, Rhode Island, and he asked me to come do that, and I did his room a lot, like, back in the day. So I've known him, God, since I started.
Don't you just love Butch Bradley?
Yeah, he's great. He's great. Such great energy. It's funny. There's something about people who start in Rhode Island, Massachusetts, New England in general. They have this energy about them on stage that, I don't know. No other comics are like comics from New England. I love that. I mean, just like Bill Burr I remember working with him like way back in the day on one of Butch's shows, as a matter of fact.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know that I find that seeing comics from different parts of the country, they all have certain traits alike. So I agree with you.
Yeah, it's cool how every part of the country kind of has its own style, but at the same time, they're not really, they're not ripping each other off, but there is this type of comedy that comes out of certain areas.
Like Sacramento comics, LA comics, it's not a cookie cutter thing. It's just that like Sacramento comics, they swing for the fences. You get the Kabir Singhs and the DJ Sandhus and the Clay Miles and, Miles
even
Weber.
find that LA audiences and New York audiences are different, where in LA you perform, and in New York it's more about the writing, And my style fit more with LA because I've always been more of a performer. In New York, I mean, I did well, but the audiences are, I don't know, they're like, make me think, and I'm not, that's not me. I just like to make people laugh,
Yeah.
So of course, it's good to be clever, but it doesn't go with my style, unfortunately.
Yeah. So you've been here a short while, then the shutdown happened.
Yeah. And it's funny, I was just starting to get a couple of dates going. I had like one headline date booked that was at the Rampart Casino, and all of a sudden it was like, yep, here's the coronavirus. And I was even getting the cancellations even before the shutdown, like because people were just, they were already scared of it.
Yes.
It's funny, and I was one of those hesitant people at first, where I didn't think anything of it. I was like, oh, this is nothing. People are overreacting. And now I'm one of those people that is like, no, stop denying it. Because there's so many people on Facebook that think, oh, it's a scam. No, it's not a scam. It's real. And stop saying that.
Thank you. It's so maddening because like you and I know people on the East Coast suffering with it.
Yeah. No, there was one distant family member that actually did die from it, as a matter of fact. I mean, that's not someone I knew very well, but still, it's someone in my family for sure. And that was, someone in Rhode Island, as a matter of fact. It's funny, Rhode Island is the smallest state in the country, but they have a lot of cases.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I think anything that is close to New York seems to, it's kind of carried over. Like Massachusetts has a lot of cases too. It really is scary.
Has in any way have you found that the pandemic has made you a better person, family member, comic? Do you see any benefit of going through this time?
I mean, if anything else, it makes you appreciate things more. I mean, I take so many, like I complain, I've always complained about, oh, why this comedy club, the way they seated people sucks, and they treat the comics like crap. And now I'm like, I would give anything to perform at that shithole right now.
Amen.
Yeah. Because you just, you miss it so much, I mean, the Zoom shows are fun, but it's not the same, It's the live audience, and there's nothing like it, I mean,
I know it's not the same. It's like, you're trying to pull teeth to get people to laugh because there's a distraction. There's an 18th wall going on.
And Zoom is so new for comedy shows that it's people don't really know how to do it yet. Like I remember I did this one show like maybe a week and a half ago, and a lot of the people's you couldn't hear a lot of the people. You could only hear a few of them because they didn't really know how to do it yet. That's not. I mean, that's nobody's fault. This is new.
Yeah, it's just the way it is.
But if you're not hearing people laugh, you think that you're bombing.
Yep.
But meanwhile, I was told later, oh no, you were great. I'm like, really? Because it felt shitty. Like.
That's how I thought this last one that I did for Miss Arkansas. There was a delay. There was nothing coming out of the audience. And I thought I was bombing. And they said, no, they thought I was funny, but that's not what my brain was telling me at all.
Yeah, we need to hear we need to hear the laughter and the applause to keep us going, and if we don't hear that, yeah, there's no other reaction but I'm bombing,
Yeah. Yeah. So what kind of things have you looked at your material to make any kind of additions or changes because of the pandemic, or are you gonna
I mean,
incorporate
for the most part, I can still do all the same stuff. It's funny, there was this one joke that I would do like close to the beginning where I would be like, oh, I was hanging out at this bar, and I can't really say that right now because like no one is. So I'll have to reword that or I don't know, somehow. But yeah, but for the most part, yeah, I can pretty much do all the same kind of stuff. I even have a few coronavirus, not really, I wouldn't say coronavirus jokes, but jokes about like wearing gloves and stuff like that. Because I don't want to like make fun of people dying,
No.
but you can make fun of some of the things going on around,
Yeah.
Like I made fun of the fact that I was, doing DoorDash deliveries, which is like the only, like it feels they have no contact deliveries. So like I was saying, it feels like a drug deal. You just like, just, all right, it's already paid for. Just leave the food at the doorstep and walk away.
That's funny.
Yeah, like stuff like that you make jokes about, but I'm not gonna make jokes about people dying. That's just a dick move.
Every time I step out of my apartment to do anything in society, and I mean on Las Vegas Strip, it's like it gives me another joke about how cuckoo people are in a pandemic. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, the only way to get through this is to laugh about it. Like the funny thing, like it was hilarious to me. Obviously it's great that everyone is wearing masks and everyone should, but it was so funny when people first started with the scarves because they looked like they were going to rob the place for toilet paper. That's another thing. Like that's you have to laugh about the fact that toilet paper became the first thing. Like there's no like what are people eating? Like what the fuck is going on?
Are they eating the toilet paper?
Yeah, like I don't understand. That was the first thing. Now actually I'm finding it everywhere. But yeah, when it first came, you couldn't get toilet paper. It was I remember I had to get up. You got to get up early to get toilet paper. I remember that. Now you can get it. Now I have to get up early. Lights off. But
everybody's using this hand sanitizer. Like
I can't even find hand sanitizer. I had to order it from a medical supply company. That was the only way I could get it.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. It's so weird.
They found out a few years ago that it was flammable and that it causes muscle damage if you use it too much. There's going to be a lot of people out there that won't be able to masturbate in a while.
Oh, great.
Just a thought. You can have the joke. You go for it.
I'm using it on gloves. Is that okay? I don't know. Mostly that's what I'm doing.
Yeah. So tell me, you've gone through the pandemic. We're about to come out of it and do a soft opening and start looking at opening, like Chaz Rozlowski's going to open, John Hilder, little places, not the big casinos like we like. Are you going to venture out to some of the little places?
I'm going to wait a little bit because I don't feel, I think it's a little too soon right now.
Yeah.
Because I've seen a few of those shows advertised. Remember, like there was even a comedy club in Florida that pretty much reopened. They were sitting people far apart from each other. And I've actually have done the club before, as a matter of fact. But I think I'm going to wait a little bit and see what happens. I hate to make other comics the guinea pigs for it, but they are volunteering themselves to do it.
Right.
But I want to wait. I want to wait a little bit before I get out there. It's a little too scary right now. And plus, am I gonna perform with a mask on? I mean, half of comedy is like facial expressions. Like, I the way the comic's eyes were moving. It was really funny. No, it doesn't work quite the same, does it?
So I think you sent me a PayPal link, didn't you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did.
So you guys, this gentleman has put everything on the back burner for 26 years to seek his passion in making people laugh. That's who you got here. 26-year veteran of making people laugh. And it shows on stage. Do you have any places online where they can go and look at your comedy?
On YouTube, as a matter of fact. If you, I was gonna say, if you go to my website, there's YouTube links on there. It's calverduchi.com. I'll admit it's not the greatest website in the world, but it'll get you to my YouTube link.
Perfect.
You
Perfect.
just, I think there's a really old video on the website, but if you click on that, it'll get you to my YouTube, page and everything. There's videos on there.
Super. So get out and support him. Subscribe to his YouTube. Book him if you're a booker, agent, club owner. Get this guy out after the pandemic because he slays on stage.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm so proud to have you on with all your years of expertise, and you are so hilarious and such a nice, real guy. You guys book good people. And your bedspread, I think it is, and your curtain are exact same color as mine. So.
Yeah, except my curtains are filled with holes from my cat jumping on
them. What's your cat's name again?
Jamie Lee Curtis. See,
this guy's funny. Jamie Lee Curtis.
I had to do that. Yeah, she's nearby, but she's being quiet though. I'll give her credit. I remember I think last interview she actually did jump on the curtains.
He was so nice.
I don't think anyone saw it, but.
He was so nice because my last interview went overtime, and he was so nice not to make a big deal about starting late.
That's okay. This is my break in the day anyway. I come home for a little bit, visit the cat. It's no big deal.
He's out delivering, and some people don't leave tips. So get to his PayPal.
That's people. Public service announcement. If somebody is delivering you food during a pandemic, risking their damn life, give them a tip. Even if it's a couple of bucks, give them a tip. If you don't, then don't order food.
Don't.
Simple as that.
How many times have you delivered and gotten 0 tip? Way too often, but
honestly, I would say I look at my average for the week, and I might do like 80 deliveries, and about 15 of them don't tip.
That's terrible.
Oh yeah, people suck.
You guys,
especially at a time like this, like you're not tipping. It's people suck that they're not tipping anyway, but not tipping now, that's 10 times worse.
It is. I always when I walk to Denny's every morning and I tip 20%, and if they do something above, then I go above 20%, and I still feel like they've been out at Denny's almost every day while making sure that we have food to eat.
Yeah.
I don't have a kitchen where I live, so I have to.
You gotta appreciate that, yeah. It's and some people are even tipping the people you get takeout from. That's cool if you do that,
Yes.
Because probably some waiter or waitress working the takeout, they used to get tips and now they don't get tips.
That's right.
Yeah, right. And a lot of them are bringing the food out to your car. So
what's that?
A lot of them are bringing the food out to you in the car, so it's give them a couple bucks, God.
Good Lord, it's hard to make a living, but when you're risking your life, just like a doctor or a nurse, you deserve a tip.
Absolutely.
It used to be that they said that comics were so brave. I think it'll be a while before they start saying that again.
Yeah. I don't know. Actually, the first comics to get up on that stage while this is still going on are pretty damn brave, I would say.
That's true. That is true. You speak the truth. Well, one of these days I'll see you at a comedy club here in Vegas, and some night I'll bump into you at a karaoke.
Yes. I love and I miss my karaoke big time.
Me too. Do you ever go to the one right here at Dino's?
Dino's, is a little smoky for me.
Yeah.
Like it's funny. I when I first moved here, I started making a list of all the non-smoking ones. Because you come out of that place after like 10 minutes and you smell like an ashtray and you're choking. Yeah, and it's not good for your voice either. You know?
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, you've been a delight. Is there any final parting thoughts that you want to give to people to keep their heads up right now?
Just, you know what, this is a horrible time in the world, but you know, just learn to laugh about it. You know, it's terrible, but just think about all the silly shit that's happened too. Because I've seen, that's the thing, and I got to give comics credit. You know, this obviously this is terrible, but a lot of comics have really made me laugh with some of the observations they've made about this. You know, making fun of Trump or making fun of like the toilet paper, all the things that people have done, and that's keeping us all going. You know, that's the great thing about laughter. It makes you forget about all the awful things in the world.
I just feel that comedy is essential to making it.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, get out there and watch what all the comics are posting because it helps you cope.
Absolutely. Yeah. Follow all the comics too. I mean, you know, we need the fans that they keep us going.
Support comics. Get out there and go on their YouTube, PayPal, invite them to your family parties on Zoom. Do whatever you can to hire Cal Verduchi. 26 years, you guys. Come on. Let's do this.
Yeah.
All right, Cal, I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much for being an angel today.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
See you later. All right. Bye.
Bye.
Everybody's talking.